Hello, my name is Memo. This is my channel, FancyMemo. Welcome back to my channel. I made a video yesterday talking about my top 10 favorite albums from this year. And as promised, I said I was going to talk about my top 10 favorite songs so far this year. So that's what we're going to do. You know, this year has been very eventful when it comes to music. There's been a lot of great albums released, but debatably there's been a lot more better songs released. Like, I feel like it's the singles that are really pushing this narrative of 2024 being one of the best years in music ever. So that is why I want to shout out some songs. I have not a lot, but there's a good amount of songs here that I hope you all have listened to before, or maybe I'm putting you on. I feel like they're pretty popular, so hopefully you've heard them before, but if not, please do. And yeah, I can't wait to talk about them, so let's do that. But before we actually jump into this, if you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. If you're already subscribed and you want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and yeah, let's get started. I mean, there's been so many great songs this year that there's a handful of songs I want to talk about, but I won't. So quickly shout them out. TR Wack, 27 Club, Charlie XCX, Von Dutch, 1999, Write the Future, Rich Brian and Kuko with Silence Stares Me Down, Urine 101 by Schoolboy Q, Mood Swings by Little Sims. There's a lot of great songs here that I would love to shout out. If you want to know more songs that I've been listening to this year, I do have a playlist. It's on my Spotify, which is linked down below. Let's see if I could share it. There we go. It's called Memo's Top 50 Songs of 2024. If you want to check it out, check it out. But yeah, let's actually talk about my 10 favorite songs from this year. And I'm going to do it alphabetical order, just because I don't want to give out my rankings at the moment, even though you can probably guess what is my favorite through my playlist. But still, these aren't official rankings. Things will change, so I'm gonna leave the rankings as a secret, but I will shout out some songs just in alphabetical order. And we'll start off with Denzel Curry's Hot One with TiaCorine and ASAP Ferg. I think he goes by Ferg now. He dropped the ASAP. But yeah, Hot One. It's a banger. I reacted to this track on my channel. Check it out if you want. And I went into it believing it was gonna be this hard-hitting, fun, chaotic track, and that's basically what it is. It's a very fun track, very braggadocious, also pretty aggressive and violent. You know, Denzel Curry does a great job at that while still being very charismatic as well. And speaking of charismatic, TiaCorine steals the show on this track. She really had an amazing feature. I've heard a few of her songs in the past, and they never moved me as much as this one verse did. By move me, I mean hype me up. This is a fire track. It's not something to write home about when it comes to lyrics, but for what it's trying to do, it's such a great verse. And A$AP Ferg provides a great verse as well. I like his flows, especially at the beginning, but the rest of his verse is also great. So yeah, shout out to them. Killer production, killer verses, very off the wall, great track. I recommend it. Alright, after Hot Ones, let's talk about the Free Nationals with A$AP Rocky and Paak with their track Gangsta. This is one of the coolest, smoothest tracks you will listen to all year. If you don't know, Free Nationals is basically the backup band for Paak and his past music. And if you know Paak, you know that he comes through with immaculate production, and the big reason why is because of the Free Nationals. They always kill it on that front. It's very smooth and jazzy and soulful, and it's no different here. It's immaculate. They did an immaculate job on this track. It is very cool, especially with A$AP Rocky coming into the mix. They all just provide so much cool energy. It's 100+ aura every time you hear a lyric, every time you hear a note, every time you hear a second of this track. That's how cool this track is. And yeah, everybody's top of their form. Paak provides a great hook. A$AP Rocky does a great job on all of the verses. Big fan of this track. I guess the next track would be Futures and Metro Boomin's track Like That featuring Kendrick Lamar. We all know what this song is. It's a banger that started off one of the most iconic rap beefs of all time. But before we talk about Kendrick, I have to talk about what started it all, Future, and his amazing verse at the beginning. I loved his energy on this track. I think he does a nice job setting the tone of this track, and so does Metro with the production. This is one of my favorite Metro Boomin beats like of all time. It is that good. The synths go hard. They just go stupid, man. They are insanely good. The that's so fire. I love it so much. But obviously the star of the show is Kendrick Lamar. You know, he comes in with this fiery flow, fiery demeanor. He is angry, and he is going after Drake with some very clever wordplay, good disses. This was the beginning of the end for Drake, which is what I love to see. So shout out to them for that one. Next track I want to talk about is JPEGMAFIA's track Don't Rely on Other Men featuring Freaky. This is a track that I also recently reacted to on my channel if you want to check that out. But yeah, that was by far one of my favorite track reacts of the year because of how gnarly that song is. The production here is nothing like anything that JPEGMAFIA has done in the past. It is very eerie and weird, but when those electric guitars come in, it's just so mind-blowing. It is an incredible experience to listen to. Freaky does a great job providing those like eerie vocals in the background. And then JPEGMAFIA always does his thing on the rapping front. He's always just spazzing out and spitting mad bars. And yeah, this track makes me very, very excited for the next JPEGMAFIA album whenever it comes. He promises an album to be released this year, and I'm gonna believe him, but I also believe that he was gonna drop 3 albums last year, and that didn't happen. So we'll see what happens, but you know, I'm trusting JPEGMAFIA. He's on tour right now. I kinda wanna see him again. I don't know if I will. So I'm sure he will drop an album this year. And hopefully it's as good as Don't Rely on Other Men, because if it is, we might have an album of the year contender in our possession. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, next track, let's talk about Cali Uchis' track with Peso Pluma. It's called Igual que un Ángel. This is awesome. This is such a cool track. It's Cali Uchis singing in Spanish, going into the realm of disco of all genres, and she does it so well. She sounds so natural on the soundscape. I think her vocals are pretty as always, and surprisingly, Peso Pluma actually provides a really impressive feature. I was worried about his feature going into this track. I didn't really know how well they'll mesh because of how strange of a combination their two vocal stylings are, but no, they pair well, a lot better than I thought they would. And yeah, they both killed it. I'm a big fan of this track. It had a lot of replay value for me, and I think it will continue to have so much replay value for me moving forward. Alright, let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. Let's talk about one of his diss tracks. Which one will it be? All of the diss tracks that Kendrick Lamar dropped this year have been fire, but I think my favorite one is still Euphoria. It's hard to say. I think Meet the Grams is the meanest. I think Not Like Us has the most replay value. I think 16 in LA is the most underrated. But Euphoria is just the one that like kind of has it all. Has amazing beat switches, amazing rapping performances. I love the intro to the track where it's a little bit more spoken word and softer, and then he gets more aggressive and a lot more meaner throughout the rest of the track. I think this track has the most quotables out of any other diss track in the entire beef, not just Kendrick's but Drake's as well. And he really provided some of the most clever yet entertaining bars out of this whole beef while still spewing his hatred towards Drake. Like, Drake did not leave unscathed after that track. We really got to learn how much Kendrick hated Drake. For me, it's Euphoria. I really love Euphoria, but who knows, maybe my mind will change by the end of the year. Maybe I'll have a new favorite. 616 in LA is like growing on me like crazy. But yeah, at the moment, Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar is my favorite diss track. Next, let's talk about Laufey, something like that. I'm sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful, especially because she is my queen. I love her so much. She is so talented. If you don't know, she is a Chinese Icelandic jazz vocalist. She dips her toes in other genres, but like that's kind of her thing. It's very traditional sounding. It's very epic. She had 2 albums last year that made it in my top 50 albums of the year list. I am still looking for A Night at the Symphony on vinyl, the RSD exclusive. I missed out on it this past record store day. I really want it. I'm like desperate for it. So Laufey, if you're somehow watching this, can I have that record please? That would be wonderful. The song that I have for this video is Goddess. I think Goddess is one of the most gorgeous songs you'll listen to all year. It starts off very slow, very mellow. You might think it's like, oh, it's kind of boring, but no, you gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out because it slowly turns into such an epic and gorgeous and grand track with one of the most perfect climaxes I've heard in any song in recent memory. It is so gorgeous. Like, her vocals are always gorgeous, but the instrumental here is glorious. The instrumental is just very lush and beautiful. I can't get enough of it. So yeah, shout out to Laufey with this one. It's amazing. I truly enjoy it. It's a tearjerker, so get your tissues ready. But yeah, big fan of this. Really well done. Shout out to Laufey. Alright, we're nearing the end, I believe. We're like plowing down through these tracks. Let's talk about NxWorries' new track. NxWorries, of course, being Anderson .Paak and NxWledge, their duo. And the track I want to talk about is FromHere, featuring Snoop Dogg and October London. NxWorries dropped an album with amazing songs, and this is one of them. The performances here is so good. Like, Anderson .Paak always kills it, but I wasn't familiar with October London's game. Now I am. Bro, what a performance. The singing on that track, so good. One of the best performances I've heard all year, up there with Laufey, honestly. It's a very somber, moody, depressing track about where do you go from here after, probably from Anderson's perspective, divorce. But it could honestly be related to a lot of different scenarios. That's just the scenario that makes the most sense for this album, especially with Snoop Dogg's very smooth spoken word featured towards the end. That kind of seems like what it's about. But man, what a track. Is it my favorite off the album? Maybe not, but it's one of the biggest highlights for sure. I can't get enough of it. Check it out if you haven't already. Alright, next track. It's actually probably a track you didn't expect me to talk about, but it's the new Quadeca song with Kevin Abstract, Texas Blue. Another beautiful, gorgeous track. One of the best instrumentals I've heard all year. And this is coming from someone that's not really a Quadeca guy. Like, not gonna lie, the YouTube stuff has prevented me from wanting to listen to his music, because to me, I still got that stigma that he's like just a YouTube rapper, YouTube singer. Can't be that good. But Texas Blue, one of the best songs of the year. It's so passionate and depressing. It's a sad song. It really is. Very heartbreaking. And Quadeca has an amazing singing performance on here. So does Kevin Abstract. Kevin Abstract provided a lot to this track. I think was a huge influence to this track as well. Like, I felt like this is a very Kevin Abstract, Brockhampton coded song, and Quadeca did it with so much justice. He did a phenomenal job on this, and it made me go back to his music. And you know, part of me still doesn't get it all the way, but you know, when I first listened to Texas Blue, that's how I felt at first. Like, I was not getting it until I kept going back to it and kept going back to it. And the more I went back to it, the more I fell in love with this track. And again, it's one of my favorite of this year. Like, I'm hinting that it is up there. So shout out to them. But yeah, I think we made it to the last track of the day, and that will be SZA's newest track, Saturn. A very gorgeous, pillowy, beautiful, atmospheric song. It truly transports you to like cloud 9. That's how pillowy sweet this song is, especially with SZA's angelic, heavenly vocals. It all just meshes well together and creates one of the most beautiful mainstream pop tunes of the year. Songs like these are reasons why I am such a big fan of SZA. She is truly one of the best pop and R&B artists in the mainstream. I'm a huge fan, and I hope she keeps it up. But yeah, that's it. That's my 10 favorite songs of the year so far. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you've been enjoying this year of music so far. But yeah, that's it. If you wanted to know my top 10 favorite albums of this year so far, I made that video yesterday, so you can check that out. But yeah, I'm done here, so thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, makes sense, right? Comment down below, what is your favorite song of the year? Give me your top 3, top 5, top 10 if you want. Let me know. I would love to hear more recommendations. If you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. And if you're already subscribed and you want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you're into basketball, more specifically NBA basketball, I have a basketball podcast. It's called Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. Check it out if you're interested. And yeah, I'm done here, so thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye. I forgot to shout out the podcast at the beginning of the episode. Nah.